Hi, everybody, and hi, my beautiful co-host, Corrine Mooney, sorry, all the way from Arizona in the US, and myself from, I don't really know, but I'm going to say Stockholm, Sweden. So, welcome everybody to another bright and brilliant Cosmic Sister show with Corrine and Anne. And Merry Christmas to you all, because it's 24th of December today, right? It's
Mhm.
Christmas Eve, like you call it. And actually, in Sweden, we do celebrate Christmas Eve. In Greece, they celebrate 25th of December,
Yes.
Christmas Day. And we wish, may all of your wishes come true, and may you have the greatest Christmas ever up to this point. That's what we are wishing for you.
Yes.
And today, sorry, on this sacred day of reflection and light, we invite you to join us for a soul-nourishing conversation, the gift of being you, the sacred power of your authentic, valuable, unique self.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
In a world that often asks us to dim our light, this episode is a celebration of your truth, your essence, and your irreplaceable presence, because you are irreplaceable.
Mhm.
All of us are. We will explore what it means to live from the heart, to honor your own inner wisdom, and to embrace the divine beauty of simply being you, just being who you are, the unique, authentic, perfectly imperfect self.
Yes.
So settle in, breathe deeply, and let your soul be seen. You are worthy, you are radiant, and you are never, ever alone. And as I said before, this is Christmas Eve, Wednesday, December 24th in US and Europe, and our future December 25th in Australia.
Yes.
And we talk about the gift of being you, the sacred power of your authentic, valuable, unique self. And here we go again. Find upcoming and past episodes at angelplaceonearth.com/upcoming past. And of course, on youtube.com/at angelplaceonearth/streams. You can find our series at angelplaceonearth.com/series cosmic guardians. And of course, we currently have two series. So we did the 4 agreements, which we are planning on redoing maybe a little bit faster next year, 2026. And we are also going to bring in the 5th agreement and some other great things from the writer of the 4 agreements. And we have created a discussion around all the 12 insights of the Celestial prophecy. Plus, we made a summary at the end. So there are quite a few episodes if you want to look at our series. Our last show were last Wednesday, December 17th, and we talked about ethereal transmissions, the journey of spiritual downloads and upgrades. I think that was a really great show. You can connect with us, find upcoming shows again, past episodes, read articles, and connect with Corrine and myself at angelplaceonearth.com/cosmic guardians. And you can find Corrine directly if you want to at liquidenergyhealing.com. Now, I think we are ready to, I'm doing this dive straight into today's show, celebrating Christmas and our own personal light.
Yes. And this is a great adventure that we're going to have, and I am so excited about it that I confused myself here. I want to say Merry Christmas to the exciting uniqueness of you. You are something that was divinely created, and there is nothing like you. And what is interesting is that we're going to go back 1,000 years to your very first Christmas. Well, more than that, but 1,000 years is all I could hold in my brain. A man and a woman got together and created the spark that is eventually you. Over time, over 1 million human beings contributed to who you are now. And it took 5,000 couples to bring you to this moment in time and space. That's the physical part of your body. But what is the beauty is that your uniqueness was always there. Your spark that you alone can bring to the dimension of humanity. And in this was the greatest gift that was given to the world. It's not what you think you've become or what you think you ought to be. It is finding your authenticity, embracing what you have to bring. Is it that you make the best apple pie? Is it that you have a gift of speaking to children? Is it that you can sing so angelically that the vibration brings people back to their authenticity? These are the things that you came to contribute, not something someone else said that you were supposed to do. So, happy You Day.
Yes. Merry You Day, right?
Mary, yes.
Merry. And, it is a true gift to tap into the very core of oneself. There is a sacred power that lives within you. It does not come from achievement or approval. It does not wait for permission or validation. It is the power of being fully and unapologetically yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It is the quiet strength of authenticity, the radiant truth of your unique essence, the divine signature that only you carry, no one else in the entire world. So to be yourself in a world that very often asks for masks is an act of courage. It is a reclamation. It is a return to the original frequency of your own personal soul. You were not born to fit in. You were born to remember, to embody, to express the fullness of who you are without dilution or distortion.
This is I think one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself is realizing that you are not a clone. You are not an imitation of anything else. Your spirit, your soul, basically has its assignment. It knows deep within what radiance is going to emerge from you. And we have systematically been taught that we're not good enough, that we need to be doing all of these things outside of our soul that make us recognizable, that make us acceptable. And the beauty is that nothing and no one can be who we are.
No. No, there's no one. And in this world we live in today, everything is about surface.
Mm-hmm.
How we appear, We are taught specifically, I think, as women, and I dare to say that because I'm a woman.
Yes.
Even though I came from a family with very, very strong women, um, very independent. My redhead grandmother and my great grandmother, they were kind of
Oh,
fiery, both of them, right? You can sit on either of them because they would answer, specifically my grandmother, and I loved her for that. And she
yes.
did it with style. So, you know, part of digging into yourself is that you are becoming aware of many things, and it can feel challenging many times because it goes against what you have been taught. You have been taught to obey, you have been taught to look pretty, not overweight. You're going to have a nice figure. You're going
Mhm.
to be presentable. You are going to be like someone that a woman that's a man would be,
Attracted.
um, yeah, attracted to, but also proud of showing off.
Hmm. Yes.
And it's not who you are. So it takes courage, it takes boldness, it takes a lot of things. But the effort that you have to give to come to that place, it's so worth it. I mean, not $1 billion could pay that price.
No. And as we travel through this life, remembering, and that is the key to remember. We're not recreating. We're just remembering who we are and finding our authentic signature. When we find that divine connection and we're willing to bring it to humanity, into this world of humanity comes balance, creativity, endless love, and reconnecting to that spark is the beginning that is starting the evolution of this pure human that we've been hearing about. And it seemed elusive and something fictional. And yet
Mhm.
we are now. We are the ones that live between the worlds. And we came here to be that divine spark to help ignite all those who have been wondering, what am I doing here? Why am I here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Oh, I have the chills, and we talked about the chills
yes,
on another show in November. I remember that.
yes.
Psychic senses, right? You
Hmm.
know, your authenticity is not a performance, it's a presence, being
Yes.
here, being you. It is the way your energy moves when you are in alignment. It is the way your words land when they come from truth, because that's a big difference. It is the way your heart opens when you feel safe to be seen. When you honor your uniqueness, you become a mirror for others to do the same.
Hmm.
And there is no one else with your exact frequency and vibration, just as you said, right?
Yes.
No one else with your blend of wisdom, wounds, and wonder. You're not a copy, you are a creation, a unique creation, a living expression of divine intelligence. Your quirks are sacred. Yes, they are. We all have them. Your sensitivities are signals.
Hmm.
Your story is a map, and every part of you belongs.
Yes. And we did not survive our past, our tribulations and falling on our face just merely to survive. This isn't about survival. We came to shine our light so others can step into the light, find their own light, and take us from the darkness. We came
Yes.
here to shine. And during meditations, every Tuesday, I have an open heart meditation here. And I hold the energy so other people can step into the oneness, step into that realm beyond the physical. And each time that we're there, the words that come that are given to me are, you are unique. You are courage. You are beauty. You are inspiration. You are the light. For the oneness would not exist if each cell, being us, were not there. If I started removing cells from my body, I would be diminishing who I am. The oneness requires each one of our unique signatures to make it the oneness.
Yeah. And every single one of us have our own unique signature,
That's
soul
right.
signature, you could say, divine signature, and also divine blueprint, our soul's blueprint.
Exactly.
So what happens during our travel here, coming back and forth a little bit, because we tend to forget when we get here, not everyone and not everything, but
Yes.
most people actually, they know there's a longing within, and I want to remember, um, but I don't know how to remember, right? But everybody can remember, and it's a good start to listen to yourself and don't be ashamed of yourself. You're good enough, just
Mhm.
as you are. You're perfect. And
Yes.
if someone else has an opinion about you, okay, fine. They have the right to have an opinion. You
Mhm.
go ahead and have it. But it doesn't really align with who I know I am, right?
Yes.
And that's, it's good to be have the courage. It takes courage, but once you start off this journey to discover yourself and to remember, um, you are not going to want to go back. And I just want to add one more thing, that we are already perfect. You said one time, multiple times actually, that we are imper perfectly imperfect. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. I love that because we have our flaws, all of us,
Mhm.
if we would call them flaws. And it's not a big deal. It's who we are, it's a part of us.
Yes.
We are labeling things in this world. And the truth is that the soul is already perfect as it is. And we come here to remember, to close the gap, to remember while we are incarnated, and to
Mhm.
let that light shine. So we don't need to go to school. It's not a school here, right? I don't know if you agree with me or not, but
I,
in
I
my
I do.
perception,
It's not a school. No.
yeah. No, it's not a school. We don't need to learn, but we have experiences, so we are triggered to remember.
Yes. And when I think of the uniqueness of myself, uh, I think of how every single snowflake. You just had snow in Sweden,
Yes.
and yay, Arizona mountains just got covered with snow, and each snowflake, billions and trillions of snowflakes, and each one is uniquely different.
Yes.
Every grain of sand in the ocean and on the beaches is unique. So, how do we as humans think that we should fall into certain categories of this or that or follow this? That's somebody else's input. And we we cannot complete the masterpiece if we don't bring our uniqueness to it. And this is something that is is difficult, but as you become on the journey of self-mastery and self-love, you realize that without you, what you came to contribute is not going to be given. That's like baking a cake and leaving out the main ingredient. And we came not here to learn, but to experience life.
Yes.
A unique young man who has had an incredible journey said one time that in the beginning there was thought. And it's like being in a library with all of these books, and you read about trees, and you read about pine cones, and you read about having to have a knee replacement. You read about these things, but you've never physically experienced them. We chose to have this physical experience so we could experience what's written in the memories. And some of them I probably would rather not have endured or had, but I came in with a unique personality. I came in certainly not to be a spiritual guru. And when I started on this path, I kept asking the question, why would you choose me? I'm not holier than thou, and I'm not righteous, and I'm not this, and I'm not that. And my crew, I call them, lovingly said, but it is through your personality that you will touch many.
Yeah.
And so I go, okay, I'm going to just let it roar.
And it's so true. And there's something else, a deeper dimension too. If we think of that we are co-creating with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe this is going to sound a little bit out of the way, but this is my belief that we do. I know it's yours as well. Sometimes we experience situations where we are playing a role for someone else
Mm-hmm.
to have an experience. So it's
Yeah.
like a chain of events, right? It's not only it's happening to us. Maybe it's happening to us sometimes because it's going to be something that someone else is going to gain from, right? And the opposite. And I've also come to understand that sometimes a person in our life that may have had a behavior that we feel is, how could they do that to me? Right?
Oh, yes.
Maybe they actually came in playing a role
Mm-hmm.
to trigger us to remember so we can close that gap, right?
Yes.
So we can come to self mastery because people tend to think about others that it's either you're a really good person or you are a really bad person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody forgets the shades of gray in between. It's not white, it's not black, right?
Correct.
And usually, most souls, there are actually negativity in our universe. It is. So I have to admit that. But usually, those we are interacting in this world with, they are not at their core evil, right? They're not that dark and negative.
Exactly.
Sometimes they have a task. It may sound crazy, but that's my belief.
Yes. It was interesting because I had been watching this show, and it was very, very, very well done. It was called the Big C, and this lovely one, young woman. She was in her 40s, and got cancer, and how she dealt with it. And it wasn't like a documentary where it was dry and everything. It was a story of her actually um, going through situations with the different people in her family and stuff like that. It was very, very well done. And the interesting thing was that towards the end of life, when she was in the a nursing home, she happened to see a rabbi and a Muslim.
Mullah,
What do they
mullah,
what do they call them?
mullah.
Okay, and a Catholic priest, and they were there because, and they were having lunch, and she looked over and she says, now that could be a good joke, and but she asked them about death and what they felt about life after death, and one of them said, you're experiencing that you're the one that is on the receiving end of the process of dying, but have you not received compassion from everyone around you? Have you not received a feeling of we're here for you? This is your gift that you are giving them. And we all play that little part. And sometimes we may not like the part that we have chosen, but, we're honing and reinventing our true essence all the time. And we're overcoming those hurdles.
Yes.
Now, when you remove the wrappings and the mask, you find this authentic person that is peace, courage, excitement, joy. And you go, wow, I'd like to meet this person because we are incredible.
Yeah, we are. And there's another aspect also. As human beings, I'm generalizing.
Okay.
I like to generalize sometimes. We tend to judge people who are less fortunate, right? But the the soul of a homeless may actually be an angel,
Yes,
or the opposite, right? For
exactly.
someone who is rich. So don't ever judge the book by its cover or a human by the presence. And sometimes I debated this many times for myself. So why is it that light people who are maybe waking up a little bit before everybody else, not being more or anything, and others being less, it's not about that. Why are they experience so many challenges in life? But I think it's also something in my perception that we actually choose. So we come here, we interact.
Hmm.
There's no such a thing as punishment for me or reward. It doesn't exist in my perception. But I
Yes.
do believe that we have chosen something so we can come to that place where we are triggered to remember, because that is the only thing that is important, right?
Yes. And what would the world be like if we didn't come here to be our unique, authentic selves? What would it would just be, it would be beautiful, it'd be nature and so on and so forth. But we're an important dynamic to the evolution of Gaia herself. We would not have been placed here to have these experiences if we were not part of something bigger than ourselves. And just celebrating the fact that we are us, I think, is a step taking you closer and closer to your authenticity. And you know how I mean, I raised all these little babies, and when I was raising babies, it was bottles and diapers and not sleeping and everything else. I didn't realize the gift that I was actually holding in my arms. And yet I'm always, in everything I'm talking about, I always go back to the beauty of when that pure human is born. And it's not making decisions for anyone else. It's just living in joy. It's living in authenticity. It's exploring. It's going, when it sees something, its emotions are right there. You know where you stand. when you're with a small child, and remembering that. And when I see people and having that exchange, I am bold enough to go up and say, I'm not eavesdropping, but I'm watching your energy. I did that yesterday. I saw two ladies, and they were just having such a good time. They'd gone uh, shopping to the big, store, Costco and stuff, and they decided to stop in and have something to eat. And they were just enjoying and laughing and being with each other. And I stopped and I said, I'm enjoying your energy,
Oh,
because
beautiful.
they were just, it was just, contagious. You could just feel it. And there was nothing mask. There was nothing, there was no agenda other than just to express joy. And that's who we are at our core.
Exactly.
The
And
gift is priceless.
yes, it is priceless. And you know, everybody, every single one of us are here to embrace our value and to stop measuring ourselves against illusions, because this world contains of a lot of illusions, the
Yes,
veil, as we call it. So
yes,
when you look beyond that veil, going within, that's when you see true truth and true things. Um, it is to recognize that worth is not earned. It's not earned. No
no,
one can tell you that you earned worth, because you are already worthy. It is the knowing that you are enough, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You are not here to prove, you are here to be. Be in the present moment, right?
yes,
Being yourself. And the journey to authenticity is not always easy. It asks you to shed layers to peel that famous onion, and that can feel uncomfortable
very much.
because as human beings, we know what we have. That's based on what we have experienced in our consciousness here, the human consciousness, right? Not the soul's consciousness. And to release those roles, to question, to face the fear of rejection and rise anyway. It's the path of deep inner listening, of choosing alignment over approval, of trusting that your truth is the medicine the world needs.
Yeah, yes. And without judgment, um, we when we realize that there is more that we want uh, to remember, we place a lot of judgment and guilt on the fact that we're going to change. And I just found an interesting fact just the other day. I mean, we all admire when the caterpillar gets in its little cocoon and becomes a butterfly.
Yes.
What is it willing to do to become that butterfly? I'm working with a young woman, and when I'm working with a client, the question I, what are you willing to do at this? What will you contribute to your reawakening? And it kept saying, I don't know, because she had no idea she could.
You are you are cutting in and out a little bit. So I don't know. Corinne froze. Can you hear me? Maybe you can hear me. So I keep on talking a little bit until she's back. She's going to come back. I know. So when you show up as yourself, your field shifts and you shift the field itself, the field that are surrounding all of us, where we are all connected. You
And
invite real connection. You create space for others to breathe. You become a lighthouse for those still lost in the fog of conformity. You do not need to be loud to be powerful. You only need to be real. We
Yes.
lost you for a brief second.
I heard that, and I was just having this wonderful talk to myself.
So please continue.
So, if I may, I'm talking about what are you willing to do to reconnect with yourself? And it seems scary, but when I pose it to clients and they go, I don't know. Because in their minds, they think they're going to have to dye their hair, lose weight, gain weight. I don't know what's going on in their minds, but they cannot conceive that they could survive being something more than they are. And did I talk about the caterpillar? I don't want to repeat that.
No, you didn't tell me about
Okay.
that. I've heard it. I heard it from you, but not on the show. So please.
Okay. Well, that's what I was talking about. When a caterpillar goes into the cocoon stage, you in your mind you think, isn't that wonderful? It's in a cocoon and then it's going to emerge. What actually happens is that the caterpillar completely dissolves its present self, literally turns into liquid, and new cells are transformed into create this beautiful butterfly. This is, in essence, how much are you willing to dissolve of your misconception of yourself to emerge as that beautiful caterpillar?
That's a beautiful question, a
Yeah.
powerful question, because that is straight on to the point.
Yes. And it takes courage. It takes willingness. It takes even when you come up against resistance, you don't have to force it, because a caterpillar doesn't force this process. I love my magic word. It allows the process to happen. And
Yes.
as you go out, and with this beautiful young lady I was speaking to, I said, it's done small. If you just realize and are aware that you're going to think about that situation for a moment, it causes you to think, is this something I really want to do or not want to do? You may still go ahead and do it in the way that you always do it, but you thought about it. You paused. You're starting to dissolve the shell around you that you think you should be, to allow the beauty of this gift that is priceless, that is valued, that is necessary, and we cannot do it without you.
No, it's not going to work without everybody, without you over there, right?
Exactly.
And usually our shell, as you expressed it, it is created, sorry, from others' opinions about us, from conventions we have been taught, um, written and unwritten rules. I'm not talking about law. I'm talking about, living a daily life,
Yes.
expectations, a lot of those things. And you need to dissolve them and question them. Is this really in alignment with me, with who I am? Right?
Uh-huh.
And that can feel challenging, but it's so rewarding. It's freeing, because you get rid of that backpack everybody's carrying around, not feeling good enough, not meeting expectations. So I'm kind of someone who says, why the heck, sorry, do I need to live up to expectations? I'm not doing anyone any harm. I'm trying to come from love. I'm doing my best in that
Yes.
way, right? So if they think anything, yeah, go ahead, be my guest.
Yes. It's I love the fact that you brought up the backpack. One of the teaching tools that I use is I have this beautiful shiny little backpack, and I hand it to each person as they come in, and I said, I want you to keep this in your lap. These are the gifts that you're going to be giving away. And they look very puzzled because it's heavy, because it is filled with bricks, you know? We carry around other people's expectations, doubt, worry, fear. And when are we going to be able to allow that resolution? When are we going to dissolve all the attachments that are keeping us carrying this backpack around?
Exactly.
And yeah,
You know, this world have a tendency to put us into boxes. So you belong in that box. That person belongs in the other box. You belong over here because that's your personality. So we are being grouped. But you know, our uniqueness is not a flaw. Our differences are not flaws. They are not wrong. It is a frequency. It is the way your soul sings, right? The
yes,
way your presence heals, the way your energy ripples through timelines. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are precisely what this moment calls for when you
exactly.
go into your essence.
Yes. And I know we all have a tendency to uh, look at our lives as being less than when we see people that are just out there really, really doing their thing. And this is something that's really, really hard because we've been taught to compare, we've been taught to compete and judge ourselves by the merits of others. And there again, going back to the uniqueness of you, you're the only one that could have said to the ladies that were having lunch, I am enjoying your energy.
Yeah.
No one else would have said that. And when I saw their faces change when I said that, I didn't say it for to see anything happen. But when I saw that they understood that that compliment was something that they would never ever hear again, and it was something very unique. So I didn't just, save humanity with a drug that was going to keep us from doing such and such and such. But the little bit of inspiration that I handed these two ladies is now going to grow, and then they're going to say something inspiring to someone else. So no one can be me, thank goodness. And because I think the world can only handle one of me. but it's but that's the thing. We each have something that no one else can bring to the party.
Exactly. And you know, to live one's authentic self is to live in devotion. It's absolutely smashing and fantastic.
Yes.
Devotion to your truth, to your path, to your purpose. And, you know, a lot of people ask, what is my purpose? Maybe it's just being you, using your gifts, not the one that are posed upon you, that
Yes.
you are supposed to have certain skills in life that are considered and labeled good skills, right? But your own sacred skills, your own unique frequency and energy. And
Hmm.
it is to honor the sacred contract you made before you arrived. It is to remember that your being is the gift, that
That's
your
right.
presence is the offering, that your life is the altar, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
let yourself be seen, let yourself be known, let yourself be loved, not for who you pretend to be, but for who you truly are. The world does not need another version. It needs your essence, your
Exactly.
light, your voice, your soul.
Yes, perfect, perfect. And one time when I was asked to come and speak to some teenage girls, and at that time, wearing goth, all black, black nails, black hair, and everything else was the in thing to do. And I walked in, and I would say almost 75% of the girls in there were looked the same.
Yeah.
And uh, I started out, and I had with me a little cacti that I had in a container, and then I had a little bonsai tree. And I said, "Ladies, we are all unique." Now, this we're talking 50 years ago. I was already in this thinking mode and didn't even know that I was different. And I said, "This cacti never tries to look like this bonsai. It may grow right beside it, but it doesn't try to be a bonsai. It doesn't say, 'Oh my goodness, I'm too prickly. Oh, I need to have bigger branches.'" And the bonsai doesn't go, "Oh, what am I going to do? I don't have all those little bumpy things on me." Because they know their uniqueness and they grow up to be the best that they can be. And by trying to look like everybody else, thinking that you're looking or fitting in, or that you're finding your authenticity, it just doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
And find who, remember who you are, and be the best version of your soul that you can be.
Exactly. And I love that you mentioned this group thing because there are so many different groups. You could call them groups,
Mm-hmm.
and a wish to belong. Because if you belong, you feel safe. And I can
Yes,
understand that. I can understand that fully, but we are still unique. We are still unique, each and every
yes,
one of us, each and every one. And, you know, out there, you are the gift, you are the guide, you are the guardian of your own truth.
very definitely. And only you can bring that to the table. And I mean, nothing in life. It's amazing. As humans, we have this concept that there's certain things that make us human, and we're always comparing to things around us. But nothing would be if it weren't the little parts of it. I mean, I'll go back to cooking. If you're baking and you don't have the flour and the eggs and the butter and everything else, then something is missing. Something is not going to make that what it was. And if we take ourselves out of humanity, humanity is not having our unique gift.
Exactly. Exactly. Are you ready for the hot seat?
Oh, on Christmas.
Yes,
And she says,
there's no,
especially on Christmas.
yes, and no escaping here.
Okay, my dear, let's play. Let's see what you have dreamed up for me to squirm with today.
Yes, and I just want to mention to everybody that we always love to have five simple questions. We can question the simpleness, right?
Simple.
Simple. Uh, yeah, not only for Karine and myself to ponder about, but for all of you, right?
Yes. Yes.
So ponder about these questions as well. And now I'm going to put Miss Karine in the hot seat. So
Okay,
first
I'll try
question.
back.
What does it mean to be your authentic self?
Ah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I have to kind of go back in history because I I have embraced my authenticity, and I keep polishing it off. But let me say that to not be authentic was a time when I lived in confusion, I lived in fear, I lived in frustration, and there was definitely no joy. So stepping into authenticity has allowed me to have this experience of seeing things with different eyes, of being able to watch how people respond when they also are invited to find their authenticity, the spark that just comes alive um, when they realize that they are not going to be a caterpillar all their life, that there is something more, that there is this beautiful butterfly waiting to emerge. So back at you, sister.
Oh, thank you. So for me, to be authentic means that I make choices, new choices all the time, and I say yes, and I say no, and I say maybe. I need to ponder about it, or whatever I feel. Doesn't always fall into the right place with everybody, and sometimes if people are pushy, I say if you're going to push me, it's a no from the beginning. I'm not even considering it. That's me.
Oh yes. Me too.
Yes. When I was a teenager, I was a little bit of a rebel. So I didn't follow the group thing. I used my own style. If anybody ever complained or said anything about it, I rebelled by wearing 500% more of the same thing, if it were clothing or anything, right?
Yes.
So you couldn't say anything to me, but that was a childish way of rebelling. But as an adult, always considering and not feeling guilty about it.
Yeah.
We can't help the world if we're going to obey to everything. We can't shine our light if we're going to adapt to everything. We can't, right? So
Yes.
we have to be ourselves and allowing ourselves to be that. That's your word, I know. You love that word.
I love that word. Yes. Yes.
So, why is it sometimes hard to show who we really are?
Ah, that's a good one. Because over time, when we have gone into our space of, with me personally, and I've gone into my happy place and I'm talking to people, and then I look around and there is this, well, that's not really her. She's not acting like what we used to do. Who is she? And I will give you something that was a very, very apparent to me. And when I married, I became Catholic because my husband was Catholic. When I got through the divorce, going through the divorce, well, I sought refuge at a Bible class. So I went over there. And the week before I took this class, I had been in the church, and a nun had been talking about being able to smooth out. She called it, I don't know whether she called it the energy of the aura, but I had never seen anything like that before. And she's saying you just make this Christmas tree around you and you feel so much better. And I had not yet awakened to the fact that I was different. But this really, it just sung to my heart. Now, the next week, I go to this Bible class, and of course, they're all asking, let's pray around this young girl. She's having some problems. So, what am I going to do? Take my new learned from a nun in a Catholic situation how to do this running my hands over. I had no idea who I really was, in the fact that, and now I'm a Reiki master teacher and I work with energy. So when I did this, they really felt it. And they felt it so much, they started stepping back and looking at me. And the young girl I was working with, she just looked up and she was like a deer in the headlights. And so I didn't think anything of it until later they called me and asked me not to come back.
Oh,
Okay. So you start learning that you're different, and you really don't want to scare away just the few people that are around you. So you start hiding it. And,
yeah.
and when it, and now to be able to be me and to be able to, you know, touch someone or be around someone and they feel the energy, that's their gift from me.
Yes.
But, yeah.
I don't have anything to add to that one because that was so beautiful. And it's so true. And, we had witch hunters in the
Yes.
Middle Ages. We had, people being accused of things.
Yes.
Even those who went into the woods picking herbs and other stuff to heal others, right?
Yes.
So there had been a chase in history for those people, right? And we are coming away from that.
Very much
So
so.
we
Thank
can talk,
goodness.
yeah, yeah, thank you, thank goodness, because we can talk about these things and we can actually experience them with each other. So being different in that way, yeah, it
Yes.
can be a challenge, but at the same time, we are so happy that we are living in these times now, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, uh, third question: how can we start valuing our uniqueness more?
Okay. It's called to stand in front of the mirror and go, I love you. I think you're amazing. You are creative. And I don't have my chart right here, but at one time, I was taking this class, and we're going to be talking about this in one of our series about how art helps you open up. And something came to me, and I had this piece of paper that was probably 3 feet by 4 feet, and I started at the very middle, and I put I am, and I was using a purple pencil, and I wrote I am valuable, and then I'm making a circle, and then the next one, I am valued, I am worthy, I am wonderful, I am creative. And I started doing this with a different color pencil, and I did maybe 15, 20 I ams in a spiral. And I kept doing this around and round. Now, what made it so amazing is that I refused to use an eraser. If I made a mistake, I took another big piece of paper and I started over. It took me 3 months to completely fill in this entire 2 by 4 foot piece of paper. I still have it,
Wow.
but this is how I taught myself to love myself.
That's beautiful. That's perfect. And yeah, you need to listen to you and go with you and feel comfortable looking yourself in the mirror, hugging yourself, talking to yourself, because
Yes,
a lot of people, they think about how they express themselves to others, but not how they talk to themselves. So a lot of people can say to themselves, "No, I can't do that. I'm not worthy enough. I'm not good enough. That is for someone else to do." A lot of excuses, right? Instead
yeah,
of having the courage to try something, it doesn't mean that we are always going to be the best in everything.
yes,
But trial and error, because there is no such a thing as failure, right? That is
exactly.
also how you can start valuing yourself and not doing all the things that are expected of you all the time. Taking time for you,
Yes.
being creative, or doing your thing, building a cabin, or painting a painting, or going out in the woods, whatever it is. Watching birds. People love watching birds in nature. That's another,
Yes.
not thinking about what others are labeling that specific thing you like to do, because that's their version of it. It's not yours, right?
Exactly. And all of this was happening 20 years before I ever found the four agreements, with
Oh,
the
wow.
very first one being be impeccable with your speech.
Yes.
And uh, I guess in this lifetime I chose to self-educate, where I experienced things and found my way out, and found my way to evolve. And then now 20, 30 years later, all of these wonderful things like the Celestine prophecy and the four agreements and Gray Braden and all of these, you know, these interesting things. And I'm going, well, gosh, I've been doing that for 50 years and didn't know that. Well, I knew I was finding me. And I think this soul needed to find me by myself rather than going and finding someone to tell me, because then I knew it was true, because I had walked the walk and talked the talk.
Exactly. And that is what everybody actually needs to do.
Yes.
Sometimes with a little bit of help from someone, right? That is
Yes.
perfectly perfect. But no one else can do the job for us. We need to
Yes.
do the job ourselves. And that can be through a course, meeting someone like you, meeting someone like me, and trying to expand oneself. But it's a personal thing, and everybody needs to walk that path on
Yes.
their own, right? So, next question. What helps
Oh,
you feel confident in being yourself?
what helps me feel confident? Ah, what helps me feel confident in being myself? And I guess the simplest and most direct question is being myself.
Yeah,
When I
exactly.
am myself, the feedback that I listen to or attune to are the little things that are never said, like the expression on these women's faces when I helped just brighten their day. When I see somebody, like after meditation, and I have all types of people that are here, and if you were to judge, you would say, well, that particular person, they're probably never going to get it, because they're on this road of self-destruction and everything else. And that person say to you, I look forward to coming here each week.
Yeah.
These are you never know when the little observations of people that their life has been profoundly changed, and they say to you, thank you. I wouldn't have seen that if I hadn't stepped into your light. And
That's beautiful. That
I
is
just,
so beautiful.
it's
Yeah,
just pure love.
it is pure love. And the same goes with when I talk to people. It's usually over the phone
Mhm.
or video sometimes.
Yes.
But someone calls crying, and when they leave, they are laughing.
Yes.
That is warming my heart. It's warming my being.
Yes.
And it may be 15 minutes, it may be 30, it may be more, right? Sometimes even a short conversation. And you never actually know the impact. But just being you and radiating whatever it is you are radiating, that's personal also, right? But
Yes.
it's coming from love and not judgment. So,
Absolutely. Yes.
last question. How does
Oh,
embracing your true self affect your relationships?
now that's an interesting one. When you're your authentic self, you have to allow the fact that other people may not be on that particular journey, and that's okay. They may not completely understand you, especially if they're really close to you, like my family. Um, they know that mom is different, but they're not ready to say, yes, my mom is different. She does such and such. And even going to family events, I know my children love me and they will be there if I need them. But when we go to these events, they have their own little pods and their own little life. And sometimes I feel like I'm the old lady from down the street that they invited, you know, and I go and I enjoy and I talk, but there's no conversation between us, or there's no, mom, what are you doing now? Or mom, how's your podcast going? It's, mom, how are you today? And that's okay, because that is where they are and this is where I am. And I I don't have to have them sitting there in adoration for me to know that I am being my authentic self. And it's not uncomfortable, it unless I were to make it that way and say,
Exactly.
well, they do this and they do that and everything else. There again, not taking it personally. I raised them to be these beautiful, insightful human beings, and they're living their lives beautifully. They just were not on the same wavelength, and that's okay, because we will find out there people that may not be blood relatives or like husband and wives, and may not be in the same frequency, and that's okay. And it's okay to say, I love you unconditionally and I let you go because I love me unconditionally and I want to be in joy also. And it is a little different. But then the universe says, you've done all of this and now you're going to be exposed to and be in a relationship with this incredible lady that lives in Greece and lives in Sweden, and she and you are just been waiting to meet. And
Exactly.
in
Oh,
comes Anne.
and in comes Karine for me, right? But for
Exactly.
me, um, the last question, embracing my true self, how does that affect my relationships? It gets way easier, to be honest. I don't feel the need to feel guilty or obey or whatever. It's not coming from being angry or mad or, just accepting because maybe we are not in alignment and that's okay. Just like you said,
Yeah.
you are on your path and I'm on mine. And I also experienced with family. So I felt like an alien my entire life almost, except for my great grandmother and a little bit my grandmother. We were more in alignment. But the rest, we don't have much contact, but I'm not sad about that either. We
No.
don't have to engage with each other if we are not feeling in alignment. We have different ways of seeing things, different perceptions. And another great thing is that I wouldn't step into a relationship with someone that would want to shape me to what they want me to be. That wouldn't work at all, right? So the
Exactly.
benefit of being authentic from the and your true version is that I don't have to go through that. I can sense that.
Yes.
And yeah, and I don't feel sadness for it. I don't feel anything about it. It
Oh,
just, okay, it is what it is. And it's saving me. And on another note, maybe I do save the other person as well, because I understand that this is not a match.
yes.
You,
Yes.
on the other hand, my lady, you are a great match. You are my sister.
Yes. Yes. I remember one time when I was doing, I met someone online and we met for the first time. And I could tell that this man was just, he was just enthralled with me and wanted to take me to dinner because I always meet in the daytime. So we went to dinner and he's starting to ask me all these questions. It was just before no, I have dated since the millennium, but it was just before the millennium. And he said, well, what do you think of that? Is something going to happen? I said, well, it already is. I said there's a shift happening, and we're moving into higher things. So I told him right off that I was an energy worker, an energy healer, and that was acceptable. And so he's talking and everything else. Then he's asked me something about the presidency, and I said, well, it would be a lot easier to vote if I knew that I was voting for someone with truth and integrity. And he kind of squirmed a little bit. And then when we're leaving, he's heading back to my house and he's squirming and saying, he says, I really like you. He says, um, but he says, I really don't think my friends would like you and everything. And I said, thank you for having the courage to say that because I wasn't going to be unauthentic with him for the first time in my life. I wasn't going to go in with masks. And I said, it takes courage for you to realize that I probably would not be a person that would fit into your norm. And that's okay. Because he was a delightful man. I could have formed a relationship with him, but the relationship that I had with me and my authenticity was far more important than being in that relationship. It has to fit for both people. And I just ended a relationship that I had for 22 years with someone because it had gone the distance that it was supposed to go, and it was time to now move into another relationship, and that's okay.
Yes, it is okay.
It's okay.
It is okay. It is okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Sitting
Are
here,
we?
puddles of water. My makeup, I need them to come in and blot my face here.
They
Ah,
are right behind you. I'm not kidding.
yeah. Oh, yes. I have this whole crew.
Are we ready to wrap this up?
I think we are. Yes.
So find all past episodes and even upcoming at angelplaceonearth.com/upcoming-past. And you can also find past and the very next episode at youtube.com/at angelplaceonearth/streams. Find our series at angelplaceonearth.com/series-cosmic-guardians. And of course, you can connect with me, Corinne, read articles, find how to connect with us and much more at angelplaceonearth.com/cosmic-guardians. And I want to end this with a beautiful affirmation that is related to what we have been talking about today. And it goes like this: I honor my truth, I embrace my uniqueness, and shine as the sacred soul I was born to be.
Beautiful. Yes. So,
That's something to take with you, everybody, right?
yes. And on this Christmas day, unwrap the greatest gift that the world can receive, the uniqueness of the beautiful, perfectly imperfect you.
That was beautiful too. And we thank you for joining us on Cosmic Sister Show with Miss Corrine and myself. And as we wrap this sacred conversation, remember the greatest gift you can offer the world is your true self. You are valuable, you are unique, you are divinely made. Keep shining, keep trusting, and keep embracing the sacred power of being you.
Yes.
Until next time, stay cosmic, stay connected, and stay beautifully you. With
Yes.
infinite love, peace, and joy. And I'll let you say the last part.
I see you completely. I hear you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I am grateful that you are sharing this world with us.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.